26 suitcases, 700 kilos of cocaine, a private jet, a sunny Caribbean airport, and 2 ex-military pilots who swore they knew nothing. And then they just escaped the country. Netflix just dropped one of the wildest docuseries of the year, called Cocaine Air Smugglers at 13,000 feet. And trust me, the real story is even crazier than what you saw on the screen. Today we are breaking down the entire saga, the bust, the trial, the escape, and the final twist that shocked 2 entire countries. And buckle up, this flight is about to get bumpy! Oh, and don't forget, before we do, like this video, subscribe to your boy's channel, and comment down below the craziest story you've ever heard. Let me know down in the comments below, and let's go! Our story begins in the glamorous world of private jets, where the rich fly quiet and the paperwork even flies quieter. In 2012, 2 former French Air Force pilots called Pascal Fauret and Bruno Odos start flying high-end charter missions, exotic destinations, mysterious clients, big payouts. Nothing unusual, at least on the surface, but behind the scenes, there were patterns. Strange bookings, recurrent passengers who never quite explained where they were going or why. This would all explode a year later. And when it exploded big. Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, on March 20th, 2013. A Falcon 50 jet is about to depart from Saint-Tropez. Suddenly, boom, the runaway floods with Dominican anti-drug agents, guns, dogs, cameras, everything. They opened up the cargo and they found what they needed to find. 26 identical suitcases, each one packed with cocaine. Street value, tens of millions of dollars. The pilots? Stunned, confused, terrified. They don't know what happened. Ah, no. What was that doing over there? I didn't know I had these suitcases. Ah. They insisted. We're pilots. We fly the plane. We don't check the bags. But the authorities aren't buying it. All 4 Frenchmen on board are arrested and on the spot. And personally, when the documentary started right away like that, with pilots that go to Punta Cana and then boom, they get busted, and you go like, whoa, what's going on? Why are they getting jailed and everything? What's going on? And they have 26 luggages that they don't even know where it's coming from. That's kind of nuts, and that also opens up a lot of room for conspiracy theories left and right, and that's when it went nuts. What follows is a legal and political circus. Dominican prosecutors claim they've busted a major trafficking ring. The French media calls it the Air Cocaine Affair. The 4 men sit in prison for years awaiting trial, and not just any kind of jails. They were literally in one of the most dangerous prisons in the whole world, because in those kind of prisons, you know, authority will basically be run by the prisoners themselves, and basically people were killing each other left and right in that prison, and they were there. And during this time, French investigators starts to dig in, and they find weird patterns in previous flights, but nothing that definitely ties the pilots to the drug operation, you know? And in 2015, the Dominican court delivers its verdict. Guilty, up to 20 years. Guilty and up to 20 years in prison. But this story is actually far from being over. If you thought it was over, Lord, literally the events of what happened to those pilots and throughout that whole story, they had to literally make a Netflix documentary with the amount of stuff that literally happened left and right. So that's why, guys, stay with me until the end of the video and you'll discover everything. And don't forget to like and subscribe. The wild escape. What happens next feels literally like a scene from Narcos, for example. With the help from mysterious contacts, the 2 pilots pull off an impossible escape from the Dominican Republic. It involves boats, secret routes, dark knight, a special agent, Secret Service or whatever, allegedly. An absolute nervousness. Everybody was nervous because they had to literally escape without no one knowing, because they were literally still in jail, yes, but after like a year or two, they were assigned to stay in Dominican Republic, to not leave the country, so that they go through all of those 20 years that they have to do in Dominican Republic. But, they decided otherwise because other people came with other plans, and even people from a specific right party in France, like a specific guy that literally blew up everything later, and that's how now we know what truly happened throughout everything. Literally conspiracy theories left and right, but some of them are right. And after all of that crazy, even had one of the craziest military secret agents to the Dominican Republic to kind of like extract them and help them to get out, so that he shows them the route. And that guy was absolutely freaking nuts, because at the same time, like, yes, he would help them, but he would be on the edge of making everything blow up, and now it's a problem, But then, boom, they are back in France, safely on home soil, and the Dominican Republic demands extradition. France says, no, we're not gonna give you our people. The French trial. Once back in France, the legal battle restarts from zero. Prosecutors investigate brokers, intermediaries, financiers, anyone connected to the flight, and they find suspicious characters, but still no smoking gun. For example, you even had the CEO of one of the biggest companies in France of glasses and everything, and then he also created like another company that was called Sniff Sniff or something like that. That guy was absolutely legendary, but they basically even tied that guy, that big CEO guy, to literally the plane, because he's the owner of the plane that did the shit. But come to find that he doesn't have anything to do with the case. Or for example, to their ex-president, Nicolas Sarkozy, and he had some ties also to that plane, and so the investigators even started to investigate into even the ex-president. Nuts! In 2019, the French court sentences the pilots to 6 years, but allows them to stay free during appeal. And then the final twist, after all of that story, after all of those ties and those crazy relationships that this case had to so many people around France and around the world even, and all of that, guess what happened? The acquittal. The appeals court wipes the state clean. Not guilty. Lack of evidence. 8 years after the original bust, the pilots walk free, but the mystery still remains. No one knows if they actually have ties to some kind of mafia that was transporting some suitcases or whatever, but it was not the first time that they actually did something like that, and it was not the first time that they actually transported luggage that did not belong to them. And they keep on saying in their versions of the story that, yeah, we don't know, we're just pilots, we fly, that's our unique role. But when you are a pilot, you also have to know everything that you are carrying in your plane, because remind you, you are going to a different location, going to a different country even, and all of that. And now, by not even knowing what's inside your plane, meaning 26 cases of cocaine, it's not nothing. So now you are literally trafficking drugs. That's why pilots have to check basically everything, and that's the job of the airport. But they said that at the end, when a pilot is piloting, meaning doing his job, it was the responsibility of the airport security and everything to see what was in the luggage and everything. And since they didn't see nothing in the luggages, or they didn't even see the luggages, basically it was not of their responsibility, and that's why they got acquitted. Like, what the hell? And to this day, no one knows who loaded the 26 cases into the jet. Were the pilots innocent men caught in someone else's game, or mastermind who simply stayed one step ahead? The private jet world is murky, the money flows quietly, and the truth might still be sitting on a runaway somewhere. And personally, I think that they were probably the culprits, because I am telling you, there ain't no way a pilot is gonna do what they did. So all I'm saying is the two pilots and the two people that were also caught in this business, that everybody literally was in that same ring, and they thought they could get away from it by thinking that they could actually get away with it. The people who have a company that rents the plane to people and all of that, those are not the people. But still, even them, they got caught and they went to jail. Basically, in this whole case, it feels like a bunch of people went to jail, feels like a bunch of people stayed out of jail, but the truthfulness of the story, we don't know it yet. And I hope that with making this video, more people are actually gonna come out and speak their truth in the comments below, guys. And hopefully we get an answer from all of this story. So if you guys like this video, make sure to share it to everyone you know, because with sharing as much as you can, that's how we can hit the right people, and we might one day get some results and some answers. So if you like the breakdown of Cocaine Air, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to the fullest, and for more deep dives like this, make sure to tell everybody about this channel and tell me in the comments again, do you think that the pilots are innocent or not? Let me know. Peace.